Hey, what's up? This is something I want to talk about. I think it's really important, and we really need to discuss before moving any forward. So we already know Spatio Prime is going to be about moving forward. It's going to be about being better than you ever were before. And now that I'm thinking about it, there's something that is really small right now, something that people do, and I don't mind, but it can be taken into a different way. It can mess us up and take us off track. And that thing that I'm talking about, the thing that I feel like can mess us up if we use it the wrong way, is nostalgia. Nostalgia is awesome. I have no problem with it in a playful and in a reminiscent sense. Not what I mean by that is it's cool to talk about what we did as a kid, or what we did, or what we liked as a kid, the TV shows, food, whatever, movies, you name it. That's fine. Now, where I think the issue lies is when we put that nostalgia in places it necessarily shouldn't be. That by that I mean in our professional lives, relationship wise, and just our overall state of mind in our life at the time. Now, at first glance, this has no issues. There's nothing wrong with it initially. The problem lies when you try to go above and beyond that point you were at before. And we'll stick with the same examples I used before. We can talk about the job, relationship, and overall state of mind or your happiness, whatever you want to call it. So here's where it can get dangerous. In these three realms, once we figure out we want to get better than that, once we want to figure out, or once we decide that we want to have more, then when we look at what happened or what we had before, we tend to romanticize it. We tend to make it into something that maybe it wasn't, and we put it on the pedestal. So the problem is when we put things like that on the pedestal, they become harder to reach. That title you once held, that girlfriend or boyfriend that you once had, or that state of mind that you thought you were in, becomes something of a legend, something that you look back and be like, wow, I wish I could be that, or wish I could have that again. And this is where we can mess ourselves up, because it seems like in our mind we make it harder to achieve that or to even go beyond that because it was such a grand thing. So now the memory that once gave us a source of strength or a source of just overall good feeling now turns into something that's kind of mocking us along the way. Something that it's kind of like a carrot on the stick. We're trying to get it, we're trying to reach it, but we can't because we made this block in our minds. We made this person, this title, or this whatever you would like to call it. We made it into something bigger than it really is. So here's how we can stop that, and here's how we can actually move forward. And the key to doing this is we have to let nostalgia die and allow optimism to take its place. So what does letting nostalgia die and allowing optimism to take its place, what does that mean? And how can we make this into a practical thing? So first mountain to climb, and it is indeed a mountain to climb, is letting the nostalgia of whatever it is that you're trying to get over or get better than, you have to let it go. So it's basically understanding that that point in your life was just a point in your life, and that though it seems like it may have been the best, there's still a whole lot of life left to live. And that's where the second part comes from. You have to understand, or you have to basically vision in your mind, what is the next step? What is the next thing that's going to make whatever the memory in the past look like it was nothing in comparison? And once you find that, it becomes easy. Whenever you think about that old person or that old title you had or that old moment in your life that you thought was never going to get better, you replace it with the new thing, the new whatever it is it's got to be. So it's just going to be you have to be conscious of what you're thinking about. And whenever that thought comes in your head that, man, I'm never going to get such and such again, or man, I'm never going to be that way again, you have to cut that out and replace it with, I'm going to be this, I'm going to have that. And slowly but surely, that feeling you had of that one or that old memory is going to fade, and it's going to be replaced by the feeling of optimism and the feeling of positivity you have towards your next endeavor or your next dream or the next big thing. So to be 100% clear, I am not saying that nostalgia is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a horrible thing that you need to stop right now. All I'm saying is, if you feel a certain way about a certain time in your life and you consider it the good days, but you want it to be some better days, you have to take this into consideration. And like I said, like I always say, I'm not telling you to do this. It's just an idea. It's just something you can try. If you don't like it, heck, throw it out the window.